Yeah, welcome back to the Firehouse for some more Firehouse reasoning. Tonight in the Firehouse, we're going to be looking at what man call God. I think this we should put God under the microscope, like I say. Because when I was a kid and I first hear the term God, it conjures up in my mind anyway, some man or some being, like a being like a man that, well, as according to the story that I hear as a kid, was up in heaven then. You know what I mean? And I've heard that people say that God was a jealous God as well. In some scriptures I've heard it. I don't remember exactly where I hear it, but I hear that God said he was a jealous God, and God also warned these people that they should not worship any other gods apart from him. Then that means there must be a couple of these gods about, going by that story, you know what I mean? And then as you get to know more, you find out that around the planet, it seems like people, they have, like everyone have their own gods then. You know what I mean? Because God inspired a lot of holy books then, as it was. But it has gone to the, well, it don't seem as if God is, it's like God say one thing to somebody over here, and he's saying something. So I don't know if, well, because there are different gods then, as according to the thinking of these people, that they have different gods then. So we're going to examine what this God is, what exactly does man mean when he uses the word God. And I says I like to get down into the nitty-gritty of it. So let's start with the word God. It is a word, like every other word. Words are used to describe, let's call it object then, something that is different from the word, if you know what I mean. So when we say, as an example, glass, glass is just a word. It is actually describing this object here that is contained in the water. So the same principle must be applied to this thing that these beings are calling God. I say that the word God is only a word. It is not an object then, if you know what I mean. So this word must be pointing to something. You see what I mean? Now, what could this, well, in my own mind then, if there is such a thing as God, it implies that that this God then, whatever this word is pointing to, this thing that the word is pointing to, must be of a higher form of intelligence then than man, for man to be thinking, oh well, this thing is greater than him, or it is wiser than him, or whatever. This is why now he's going to refer to this thing as God. You know what I mean? And like you can see from the demonstration of the glass, the thing must be different from the word. So you'll find a lot of people saying, as an example then, they might be arguing that, no, we should call this thing Rastafari. Or next man might say, well, I don't like that name, we should call it God. Or somebody says, no, it's Jehovah, and somebody says, no, it's Allah, and whatever name, you know what I mean? But the names that we are going to squabble over now, yeah, will make no difference to the object, if you know what I mean. It's like we was on earth and we decide to say, call the sun Yon, and the next man say, no, it's not Yon, it's Run. And the next man say, no, it's Bun. And the other one say, no, I'm calling it Zon. Yeah? That still wouldn't make no difference to the sun shining light, would it? You see what I mean? The name that we decide to label the object ain't going to make no difference to what the object really is, if you know what I mean. So we can decide then, as an example then, it would be pointless for us to be squabbling over what name we're calling the object, and unless maybe we don't actually know the object that this name is referring to, if you know what I mean. Because if you believe, you know, in what this word is referring to, then you can't really know the object, because you know, believe is not knowing. You see what I mean? That's where I feel the confusion come in. Why these people now, I would say, have so many different gods, and give the impression to a being then that God is some form of human being, as it was then. Because I've heard some other people who follow the God then, as they say that this God created them in His image. You know what I mean? So that would be mean is like say, you know how sometimes some of your kids look like you. You know what I mean? That means God look like them then. But then I'm saying to myself, no, that's a funny kind of God that. Because He would have to look like an awful lot of people then, innit? If it was in a physical form then, if you know what I mean. So yes, a lot of people are saying then that yes, we are created in the image of this God. So that means this God is a being or a person then, somewhere. You know what I mean? But like I'm saying now, you could believe all this if you don't know the object that the word God is describing, you know what I mean? And when you do know the object as well, it's like say, if we say man is a word, but when you actually meet the man now, say me, man, you see how many different qualities I have about me. I'm speaking, I'm breathing, I've got an arm, I eat, I run, I walk, I sleep, I do a lot of various things, you know what I mean? Very complex to study a man, you know what I mean? When you encounter the object man, different from the word, you know, the word is just one, but the object is, you see what I mean? So when we actually know this object that they are calling God then, we find out that it is nothing that they are about thinking that God is some man, you know, some being up in heaven or anything like that. You know what I mean? The word is describing, like I say, a higher form of intelligence then. Higher than what man, I say, would be thinking in his general self. You see what I mean? Now this state, it's better, like I say, if I show it on the out. Because whatever is out is in. We are actually a miniature universe. You see what I mean? So on the out there, like I say, above your head in the sky, you have the sun, the giver of light to the earth. The bright is what you would say light in your atmosphere here. After that you have the moon. The moon is not a creator of light. It is a receiver of light. It's like I said before, can be positive or negative. But it can also be full and reflecting light. That light it is receiving from the sun and reflecting back out. So when we come within ourselves now, that same sun that you are seeing out there is within. You see what I mean? This is the God. Within. This feel when you come within now. Now this feel here within. Just like outside. Only one sun that serves the whole of mankind. Now when you come within, this same sun is within the psyche of all beings. It is the giver of light to the minds of all beings. You see what I mean? That's if they clean up the mind, that is. If it's impure. Each being will know their own faults, like I said before. And like I tell you before, clean water will not enter a dirty glass. Likewise, the truth will not enter a dirty mind. But once you clean it, it will. You see what I mean? Now it's like it's some simple things, like I say, logical things. If you are unfit, and you decide to get fit, you'll have to train. I don't know what kind of training. There's various. You can swim, run, walk, whatever. You see what I mean? At first it might be a bit difficult, feel a bit stiff in the body and things. But if you persist, you will eventually become fit. And obviously the body will work better when the body is fit. The same thing applies to the mind. The mind will work even when it's not fit. You can see great men of knowledge building great things. Doesn't mean that the mind is fit. Because the mind can only be fit. Only one thing can make the mind fit. It has to be exercise. And the exercise is when you stop doing the wrong that you know that you're doing. You see what I mean? Might be difficult at first, you know, to stop chasing down women then. Or to be drunk every weekend, you know. Or to be making money. I don't know whatever vices you're performing within your own self. You will know those vices. You see what I mean? But I'm saying to train the mind out to be fit. You have to apply these kind of discipline. Because it's only after when you apply these discipline that you are going to be able to comprehend what the word God is implying. What it's pointing to. You see what I mean? So what is actually pointing to then, like I said, is the light within thy own self. Better known to you than as using another word, conscience. You see, I say it's better to counsel under conscience. Because conscience is a thing that human beings can immediately relate to. I say at some point in their life they must have felt the promptings of their conscience in certain circumstances. Well, when you felt, if you've ever felt that in your life, that's what I'm talking about. That is what man refer to as God. You see what I mean? Now, the believers won't know this though, you know what I'm saying. Because people believe in things like I say. And if you believe, you can't know. Or even, so you ain't going to know God. You see what I mean? And because we're dealing with high spiritual counsel as well, we have men of God who feel God. You see what I mean? And through feeling that God, they come to know God, even though they can't see God. You see what I mean? And you have men of God who hear God, and it's the same thing, they can know God, but they still can't see God. You see what I mean? To explain certain detail about the thing then. You know what I mean? Like say you was looking at the glass, or you see the glass, so you could explain a little bit more about what a glass look like to a blind man. You can't tell him the whole of the thing still, but you could, because you've seen the glass, you can explain to a blind man. So like I'm trying to tell human before now, the general is a owl master, one that have seen what these beings are calling God. You know what I mean? So I can explain what God is. Not in any, like I tell you that, well, they have lots of different kind of God, like I'm telling you. But there's only one sun that giveth light to the earth. That's enough. And like I tell, well, people always think that we African, I've seen them say it before, that man worship the sun. The sun is just a physical representation of the one that is within, the invisible one. Simply because we live in a world of physical and non-physical. See what I mean? So this one that man is calling God then is everywhere at once, instantly within all. It is not a man or it's not a woman, but it's within man and woman. See what I mean? The best way to kind of get a grasp of what man would call God then is to understand that we create things as well, I say. But we don't create anything like ourselves. We create things that are different from ourselves. You see what I mean? So the creative energy that create us, we're not like it, you know what I mean? We are male and female, you know. That one is not a male and it's not a female, but is residing in the male and the female. You see what I mean? Yeah, that's how God works. So one cannot really say that, oh yeah, God is a man. No, you cannot say that. Or that God is a being. Because no man or no being can be instantly everywhere at once in everyone. You see, man? How are you going to do that? It would be best if one come to realize then that God is more like an energy. You see? Rather than a person. You see what I mean? It's not a person, it's an energy that is within all. But it's not an energy like I say that you're going to, you know, like how the outside, well, those who have gods say that, dear God, tell them that he's a jealous God and, you know, must worship no other God but him. And, you know, and they are busy themselves building temples and gathering themselves up into congregation to worship this God. You see what I mean? Are the God that they believe in anyway? Because I say that a real God now. But the real God, you see what I mean? Is not looking for any reasoning of anybody. You see what I mean? Yeah, there is an energy. You see what I mean? Rather than one be thinking that God is a man or, you know, God is a woman, you know. It would be best if one think of what I would call the creative or the superior intelligence then as an energy rather than a person. Because I cannot see how. Well, because I can, like I've seen the one. The one is, like I say, would be more suitably described as the sun within. You see what I mean? That giveth light to the mind of human beings. You see what I mean? But the human beings now can only receive this light. Because one have to participate in this work with the light, and if you know what I mean. You can't just sit about and expect that just because this light is shining within you, that this light is going to enter your mind, like I said before. Because the light of the one will not enter any dirty mind. You see what I mean? And when we say dirty mind, every being that, I say from you're very young anyway, even though you wouldn't know that wrongdoing is what's making your mind dirty. But when you get an adult, you can know what I'm saying, can't you? That wrong actions make the mind dirty. And there is no way any adult being is doing wrongs without being aware that what they're doing is wrong, if you know what I mean. They all know, no matter what they tell you. You see what I mean? You have to know it, because the light is within you, and the light is the truth. You know? It's not you, but it makes you know anyway, automatically. You see what I mean? Just like what you might call the devil. You see what I mean? The devil is only a word, or what they might label Satan. You know what I mean? Now, the believers, because they, like as usual, they don't know. So because they believe in the devil or Satan or whatever, then they believe that this Satan, whoever this Satan is into some eternal battle with what they believe to be God. It's all a belief. Their theories are based on belief, both about God and the devil. You see, so they don't know. So it turns out that they cannot know either God, what we call God, or what we might term the devil, if you know what I mean. But what the word the devil mean then is that there is an opposite energy to the one that we might call positive, to the light then. There is a dark energy. You see what I mean? And how that dark energy relate, or how we relate to that dark energy is like the dark energy then within us is not interested then in saying any or giving us any what I would call positive vibration. You know what I mean? It's of a negative completely. So it's always, if you could hear it, then it's always chatting bullshit. You know, just negative, nothing positive. You know what I mean? But it's not doing it. It's not like doing it in a choice way. Then, you know, as if it's selecting individual to do this. Because just like how the sun is in all, so is the moon. You see what I mean? So in the internal, in the psyche then, we could, the moon play the part of the devil as well. The negative, if you know what I mean. Even though it can be positive. So we are in, and we as beings as well. We are not in the field of this one that we call God. You know what I mean? We don't live in the light. You know? The light is a separate thing, you know? You see, like how men, well, I've heard men going to the moon, you know? There you go there. I don't see you going in the sun. You know? Because you're not from the sun. So, in this reason here now, when we are in the psyche now, we're still not in that sun. It's a different, separate thing from you beings. But we are in the mind. I say you are in the devil's house. Yeah, but over in it, don't get terrified of the devil, you know. Don't be afraid of the devil stuff. Because in the house of the devil, you can either be positive or negative. Still, you have a choice. You see what I mean? So you can emerge from out of the dark into the light. See what I mean? That's if you follow procedures I'm on about, you know. You can't sit on your ass and get fit. You have to take action. So you have to do. You see what I mean? And the action in this case, what we're talking about, then that is going to allow you to comprehend what the word God mean or any other word that they want to use. Because we're not talking about many things. God is one thing. I know it's not one thing where believers are concerned, you know what I mean? And there, a lot of them are saying, oh, there's many different ways to God and all this kind of things. But to know, there's only one way to know, and that is to make correction to the wrongs that you know that you're doing. If you refuse to do it, your eyes will not open. And then you must go and believe in God. Our gods. You know what I mean? Without actually knowing, like I say, who or what God is. Because at the end of the day, still, even when one know a man, yeah, you still can't know the man, you know. I mean, you can know a lot of things about a man or a woman, you know what I mean? But don't forget, a man and a woman is like a spiritual and a physical. They don't even know a lot of things about themselves, never mind you knowing them in their completeness. You know what I mean? So, it doesn't mean now, as an example, that, say, because I say that I see God, then as an example, that I know everything about God. You see what I mean? Because don't forget, as you know, God is both the known and the unknown. You see what I mean? Now, because God is like that, God can never be known, even though God can be known. So it doesn't matter where you are in the universe. You see what I mean? God will always be the unknown. So you're not going to go, like, say, in the next life and encounter the one. If you know what I mean. It doesn't work like that, because the one is not a being that any being can encounter. Well, you can encounter the one still. But I mean, not like say, how I could encounter my friend Mr. Marius behind the camera laughing. You know? You're not going to encounter the one sitting like how my friend is sitting behind the camera laughing anywhere at all. You know what I mean? Whether it was in this dimension that we're living in or the next dimension. That's the energy that is known as God or you know, whatever label. I don't know if the other beings on some other different planet somewhere in the universe have a different name for this one. You see what I mean? But it's not like I say, name is never the one. You see what I mean? It's like when you study names carefully, even as it relates to us human beings. My name is not me. You understand? When I was born, my mother gave me a name, but I was already a being before that name was given to me. You see what I mean? It's only an indicator then of, you know, that's what I call it, just to identify. but it's not you, is it? You see what I mean? So a lot of people end up actually believing that they are their name. You know what I mean? If them name John, them believe say them are John. Or if them name Lara, or I don't know, Gracie or something, you know, they end up believing that this is them. You know what I mean? But you cannot be your name. You see what I mean? You have to get past your name when you're researching who you are differently. You see what I mean? Because you're not your name, are you? Just like how, like I say, God is not God, the name God is not the object. And your name is not you. It's just an indicator of who you are. You see what I mean? Now when you try and figure out who you are, you see what I mean? You find out that, yeah, I am a mystery really. Well, maybe you don't think you are a mystery, but I do. Fascinating to try and unravel who one is. In fact, in my case, I would say I have a better idea who God is than who I am. If you know what I mean. Yeah, I have to say that because I have seen the one, I've never seen who I am. You see, I'm a mystery. It's that paradoxical and crazy, isn't it? That a man is saying, oh, he hasn't seen himself. When I say, I know I've looked in the mirror and seen my image in the mirror. You know, I know that. I'm not stupid. I'm saying that I haven't seen the soul that is speaking from out of this body. My own soul. I've never seen it. But I've seen the one that you being referred to as God. Now that one might know who I am, if you know what I mean. But I couldn't say to him, oh yeah, I know who I am. Because I don't know if I lived before, if I come from some planet somewhere. Because life is a mystery, you know. Well, it's a mystery to me. You see, all those things puzzle me. You know, I hear people say that they lived before. Well, maybe I'm not discounting it, you know. But I'm saying I haven't got the evidence to come out and speak and say to anyone, oh yes, I was here in 1872 and I fly back through in 1549 or whatever, and I was, you know, I don't have no recollection of such things. I don't have any recollection that I was living on planet X, Y, and Z. But that doesn't mean I'm going to rule it out either, if you know what I mean. I'm just saying I don't know. But I do know that the spirit is something that never die and cannot die, if you know what I mean. That's not a matter of say that I believe that the spirit is something that that cannot die. It's not a matter of belief, it's a matter of me knowing it, if you know what I mean. So I know it because I know that. As an example then, I am a physical and a spiritual being. Yeah? Now, whatever is physical in this world is subject to change. And whatever is subject to change die eventually. Tree, animal, and you human beings, you know, worms and birds and flies and kangaroo and giraffe and so forth and so forth, and fishes in the sea. After a while, because they have bodies, they must die. You know, some tree live long time, but eventually them die as well. Now, that's on level 1, where we say we exist here in the world, and level 1 in the physical form. But we are spirit. This is what you will know, you know, but don't forget what I said before. You have to do the training first before you know these things. An unfit mind will not be able to grasp the full reality of what I'm saying. You know, the mind have to be fit to comprehend it fully. You know what I mean? You see what I mean? You have, the mind must be fit to comprehend these things that I'm telling you about. You see what I mean? Well, anyway, when the mind is fit, You grasp the idea, like I'm saying, that you are a spirit in a body. Now, when you see that clearly, you'll be able to see that, okay, yeah, the body is a changing thing, so whatever is subject to change, die. But because you are consciously aware, knowing it, you'll be able to see that your spirit is a constant, you know. Like me, you know, like I said, I think I'm 18 or 17, one of them. Never feel 1 year older than that. You know, I'm not lying. You don't need to lie about what is truthful and correct, is it? So it's just how it is. I never make it up. I just find it like that. When I was younger, when I was messing about, I never have time to notice these things. I thought man just dead. You see what I mean? Because I was a man who was scared of death when I was young, you know. So I did just think that man was dead. And that's it. But when I find out, you know, when I wake up after training the mind and waking up now, I get to know that no. It is the body that is dying, and you're not a body, you're just riding in the body. You see what I mean? So when the body like an old car, old banger, you know, the spirit now, which is a constant, like I say, if you notice. So because the spirit is a constant, that doesn't affect the spirit when it hit the body. Because it's a constant, you see what I mean? It's in a different field. It's in a different field from where that is operating, if you know what I mean. So there is no like I say, you know how people get terrified of dying and all this business. Yeah, you get terrified of dying because you believe in death. You see, but you don't know about death. This is what frighten and terrify people. The things that terrify and frighten people is all belief. So if a man believes that he can get old, of course he's going to be frightened. If he believes that he can die, of course he's going to be frightened of death, you know what I mean? If he believes in God, of course he believes that God is going to put him on trial after, you know? And I don't know whatever punishment God have for him after he's committed all these. So he's got all these ideas in his mind. You see what I mean? Now, when you know God now yourself, yeah, you will come to understand that, you know, like how I hear some of them say, dear God, tell them, like I tell you before, that they should worship no other gods but Him then, as an example. That implying that there is some other gods. But when you come to know the real God now, the real God don't interfere in the affairs of men, if you know what I mean. Because the real God give men the freedom to decide what they wanted to do while they was here. So it's a case then that say, imagine God is a teacher. Now imagine God is the supreme teacher. You can't have a higher teacher. Just you're a bad boy teacher, man. So imagine then that you have this great general within yourself, like I'm telling you, the living sun itself, you know, where light itself come from, you know. No, the supreme than that, I'm telling you about. That one is within yourself. The supreme teacher, yeah, is within. And when I say, don't forget, it's within all human beings, you know. And yet, how many of these human beings now choose to go to this teacher to learn? You see what I mean? Because here why we don't choose. Well, I don't know why we don't choose, but like I'm saying, because we have the choice. We don't have to listen to what the good ones say, you know. Like I tell you before, you can tell the good one to F off. You know, because it's your choice. But what I'm saying, when you are doing that now, ignoring that one, then you ain't going to learn what this one could teach you, is it? It's the same principle if you go to a classroom and you have a good teacher but you don't pay no attention. Well, you will never get the knowledge that the teacher is trying to impart to you then, on the grounds that you don't want to pay attention. Because you are paying attention, well, somewhere else then. So you find out then that the great majority of beings then, because they don't want to listen to this one, they cannot know this one. So they end up believing in this one, but without knowing this one. Hence all the confusion with all these different religions and different gods, and men arguing about the name of God and because they don't know. But you can know God, like I tell you, or what man refer to as God. You can know the object, it's within yourself. It's not as if to say, well, you'll have to go to Siberia then, and some expedition to actually witness what God was. You see what I mean? You can actually know God within yourself. You can actually, like I say, feel God or hear God, or in the rare circumstances that I'm telling you about as a general, see the one. So you can counsel further. You see what I mean? But you will know anyway, because it doesn't, knowing God, it doesn't matter if you know God through feeling or hearing or seeing. You see what I mean? It's just a matter of knowing the truth that is within. Human being, he created the man first. You see what I mean? So, and then him never actually create the woman as how him create the man either. Him create the man out of dust. Like dust, I don't know, earth has gone to them and just fashion a thing. But he never did that to the woman. As gone to these, These says no. He called Adam and says, come here, Adam. And when Adam went over to God, God said, watch my virgin operation. Take out all one of them ribs there. I put too much ribs into you. And all one of Adam ribs now and do a thing. See what I mean? But I always say, no. So how come God never does, if he can just fashion Adam, why he never does fashion Eve? You see what I mean? But because it's some psychotic men writing this thing in it, and they're trying to show now why the male principle is dominant to the feminine, because yeah, my rib make you in it, them can tell the woman in it, you know? Yeah, and I was the first, you know, and all this kind of thing, and you know, and all this nonsense, you know what I mean? But all that I'm saying is that that's what when the mind is unfit. You see what I mean? This is the ideas of the unfit mind. It is the unfit mind that believe in things, you know, either they believing in death, they believing in God, they believing in the devil, and believe is a wild, you know, mad, dark, I say lunatic's hole and to believe. You know what I mean? We are living in a dimension that we can either believe or no. No one seems to examine. When you believe, it's a doubt. You can't go to court and tell the judge that you believe that I rob you. You know? But if you go there, tell him that you know, and you can produce the evidence to show that you know, yeah, fair enough. But believe, a judge run you out of court. Because believe, you don't know, you never see me, you just believe. You see what I mean? So it's the same when applied to what you are, God business or death business or whatever, devil business. It's just a belief. And belief is always, it's never right. It's irrational. It's the opinion of the irrational mind. You see what I mean? So it is those people now who have make out or try to present God, that when I being hear the term God, they automatically think of a man. Well, I do. I automatically think, oh, God is a man somewhere, sitting up somewhere, you know, some powerful king or, you know, something anyway, you know what I mean? So I'm sure youngsters coming up now, or maybe even some adults, hearing the term God, the first thing that registers in the mind is that, you know, some superior being, you know. I don't know why God have to look like a man, I say, because when I look up in the sky, I say to myself, look now, the sun don't look like a human being, neither does it look like an animal or any creature on earth. But if it wasn't for that sun, I doubt if all of you would live on earth, you would die out, innit? You see what I mean? So I don't know why you think, and that's a physical sun. I don't know why you think God have to look like you, you know? You don't think that the sun is a superior thing to any of you human beings. You think any of you human beings on earth, right, could do what the sun do? So it's infinitely superior to you, innit? And all the animals on this planet as well. Infinitely superior. But it don't look as if it's a person. So why do you have it in your mind, or some religious nutters are trying to fixate into people's mind that God is some being, you know? You know, like how men create kingdom on earth and them have some king sitting in him court here with him entourage and all them things there. Now you transform this idiocy up in the up in the sky as God, you in heaven. And up there you have God sitting around with his angels and his son and all this kind of thing, you know what I mean? But all that, like I say, is just the illusion that is running through the mind of the ignorant. You know what I mean? Because God is not a person, is it? But you're not going to discover this, like I say, unless you perform the action. You see what I mean? There's certain things that one have to do in life. It's as if God give you a seed. Now, within the seed there is great potential. Yes? How marvelous that God should contain so much potential in a little seed. But anyway, the seed contains great potential. But it's no use if you just have it in your hand believing that it's got great potential and you believe that it might do this and do that. That won't work. The only thing that works is when you go and find a nice piece of ground and clean it out and, you know, and insert your seed. When you do that, you can stand back and watch it grow. It's not you who is growing it though. And it's not you who is going to multiply it. Because when you plant one seed, Jah never give you one back in return. Give you multiple seeds. Multiple fruits to eat off your one seeds. So just imagine if you were sowing the seeds of honesty and truthfulness. You see what I mean? Good intention and all that. Imagine how God would make that grow and blossom in you. Yeah, you see what I mean? You would have trees full of truths that you can go there at any time and pick and eat. You'll never be short of truths. You can't be in it. Because you start you sowing. You see, from you change and you sowing. Whatever you're sowing, God is multiplying in it. That's how it works. That's how I come to be spitting what I'm spitting. You see what I mean? It's like sowing some seeds, like good intention and that then, you know? And then God grow them. Once they grow, let me say you can't run out of lyrics. You will never be and when you know as well. It's not like when a man know knowledge. Because those men who know knowledge will hide it. Yeah, they do anyway, because they don't want anyone to get rich off it. Their knowledge, they want to keep it to themselves and maybe a few of their little cronies, and they share up the knowledge and get rich. You see what I mean? But when you go to the internal school and you know what they might call wisdom then. Oh no, you just give that away, man. I say, because like I said, the man of knowledge don't want every man to be knowledgeable. But the man of wisdom wants everyone to be wise. The more people are wise, the more the man of wisdom would be happy more. If you know what I mean. So you have one man who is holding his thing tight, and the other man who, like I said, willing to give it away. You know what I mean? If you see what I mean. And one of them is visible and one is invisible. Because the man of knowledge then, I say more people will hang to him because he's got the money, you know, the thing that is visible. But like I'm saying, when Mr. Death come now, you can't take anything visible. You see what I mean? Nothing that is visible. So all Mr. Knowledge, money and property and Ferrari and yachts and all them something, the diamond, all them things that he's piling up, he's leaving it here, you know. You can't take it where you're going. You can take your wisdom now. Have you ever heard any? I think I hear them say it, you know, that the good you do follow you. Yeah. But they should also say that the bad that you do follow you as well. Yeah, that's how the universe works. You know what I mean? Because it so happen like I say now, because God is love. God don't deal with punishment. You know, like how people are about, oh, God is going to punishment. God is going to punish people. I've told people before more than one occasion, God is love. Excuse that. What you call God is love. And love don't deal with punishment. Can you imagine real, true love? I'm on about dealing with punishment. No. You are in a universe, like I tell you, here in this dimension of choice. If there is such thing as punishment, you would have chosen that yourself by your own action. You see what I mean? And when death comes for you, you arrive at whatever state you existing in the next dimension due to what you saw here. Not a punishment from God, but your own choice. You see what I mean? Because God is love. God don't deal with punishment. God deal with love. You see what I mean? So if there's punishment, like the religious believers are working themselves up about, you know what I mean? It is not because God is going to punish anyone, but that these people choose punishment for themselves. Punishment like, like religious not have a way of thinking to themselves. Oh, punishment is like you're going to hell and you burn in fire. That's just stupid. No, punishment don't go like that, man. Punishment would be more like, when a soldier go to war and he's over there firing, killing and doing whatever against, which is not right and correct, obviously. And then when he come back now home, he find it very difficult to adjust to life as it was, you know what I mean? Having all kind of nightmare, and when the mind realize what it was doing, then the repercussion of what it has done start to hit the mind. So, it can't rest and all kind of, I think they call it Gulf War syndrome. Afghanistan syndrome, don't. But you get the drift of what I mean, innit? Well, it's the same kind of thing that is going to happen to the spirit. When death come for you, like I tell you, which it must, and you go back home. I told people this in the last video, but I wanted them to get it straight in the mind. Earth is not your home. You're just passing through, in transit. Don't try and own it. You don't live here. Yeah, you're just passing through Anyway, whether you want to accept what I'm telling you that you're just passing through or not, death will reveal this fact to you. Now, when death comes for you and you go back home, and you realize that, as an example, then, that you live a life being racist or, murder, a pedophile, whatever, against your brothers and sisters, because we are all brothers, innit? The fact that you was blind and never realized that we was all one is irrelevant, see what I mean? But now you are going to realize this fact, so you won't be able to adjust now, torment to the soul. Because while you're here, a lot of them put a lot of their deviousness, and then I say, lock it behind in the mind, ignoring it, Them drink a lot of alcohol and black it out and whole heap of sex and party and, yeah, and drug it out and rack up and, put it at the back of their mind, them claim as God to them. But what I'm saying, you're not putting anything at the back of no mind. That is coming back. See what? Yeah, man, that is all them things that you think that you are putting at the back of your mind. Work that you should have been doing and ignore the work. Those are them same work that you are ignoring here that you should have done. That's what's going to torment you. Make you feel like you is in hell. You see what I mean? But no one is going to put you in no hell. No one can put you in no hell. Apart from you. You see what I mean? Only you. Torture your own self, man. You see how it works in the universe. So there's no God punishing anyone, you know what I mean? And there is no devil looking for any souls. That is just what the believers believe in. And I tell you, believers are well in the dark. You know what I mean? Real. Believers are mad people then. Because it means that if you believe, it means that the mind is not functioning. Or if we go under what we was reasoning before, that the mind is not fit. You see what I mean? So when the mind is not fit, it cannot make calculation properly, you know what I mean? Anything that is make is always half key then, half line, because it's not tuned in. You see what I mean? So you find out you can't listen to what unfit mind is telling you. And if your mind is not fit, you might not recognize unfit mind either. You see what I mean? Because these unfit mind have a way of, like I say, grooming themselves, you know. Nice shave, nice suit and tie, and, you know. appear to be all intelligent when they have no intelligence whatsoever. You see what I mean? Or they just deceive you with a bit of intelligence, claiming that they are professor this or great scientists and know about black hole and deep space and some other thing, and then they don't know nothing about the space within themselves. You see, it's like I say, a man will travel all over the earth, claiming that, oh yeah, me travel here and I've been to this place and that place, seen this, that, and the other, and done this, that. And yet, in all his life, he's never made a journey within his own self. I'm saying, you love travel, yeah? But you've never traveled within your own self and find out what is actually going on within. All your life you focus outside, looking and chasing down whatever you see and following. You see what I mean? That way you can never know. Like I say, you have to believe, and you can never know what God is. You must go and believe in the gods. You see what I mean? And the gods now, before we wind down this reasoning now, the gods, yeah, they are the one who send. Well, I don't know which one are the God, because I don't know that God there, Like I tell you before, I explained this before, I explain it again. The only God that I know, what I refer to is God. You see the sunlight outside, it is within. That is the only one that I know as God, you know what I mean? Now, that God that is within, don't send, it's like a neutral energy. You have to choose it for it to teach you. That is the one God that is within. But anyway, the outside God now, that the believers have, they says that this God I know, I don't know which one of them, because there's enough gods, but this one sent his son Jesus Christ, and them say that I don't know if the God did it himself, or if he sent his Holy Spirit, or if him and the Holy Spirit is the same thing. But they claim anyway that the Holy Spirit impregnate Mary. I don't know if him did it on behalf of the God. Yeah, I don't know. I don't figure it out anyway. But anyway, that God, perform a thing with Mary. And my brethren say I rape Mary. Yeah. And then the God send that God have some brother that have wings that they call angel. Him also send angel. I haven't seen any of the angels flying around in this time. I don't know. It look like God stopped sending them, but him have angels anyway, and him have him have prophets as well. The God of that God sends at certain time in what they would call human history. Well, they don't do it again. God stop it, because one of them says that God says that this prophet, their prophet, was the last, and he wasn't going to send any more. If you know what I mean. So dear God look like dear God stop sending prophet. You know what I mean. But the God that I know, like I tell you now, which is the real internal one, don't send and cannot send. Why should God send anything? You know what I mean? You are here to make a choice, to choose. Now, because you have got the freedom of choice, as like I tell you before, as a rough example, God cannot tell you what to do. If God wanted to tell you what to do, God would have created you in a way when Him tell you what to do, you go do it. Maybe like how cow just go eat grass and nobody question nothing, and lie down when them belly full. Our fish just swim about in the water. But God never do that to what we call human being. He give them a choice. Now if God give them a choice, God cannot turn around now and says, alright, I don't want you to do that. I want you to do this and I want you to do that. How can you do that to a being when you give them the freedom to decide themselves? You can't. So you can't send no son. But God don't have any son to send either, you know. His whole idea is just a stupid, mad, crazy thing anyway, you know, about God send son. God don't have no prophet to send. Where did these prophets come from? I mean, in reality, real reality, if a man did born from a cow, or even a sheep, or a goat, or a impala, or I don't know, elephant, or if him fall out the sky then we could probably say, yeah, maybe God sent this being here, you know, because all us being on the planet seems to emerge out of our mother. And now we have a being here who is not coming out of his mother. So this being could be sent then, as it was. But I know all the prophets that they are telling me about come out a woman. So why did God send them? And so how come him send them through woman and I'm coming through woman but him not send me? Who send me? Are you? You know, cause the brother them claim is prophet. See? They have mother. If they was real, I know they're not real, because the man have believed just make up the story. You can never find one of those prophet grave anywhere in the earth. Because them are those Harry Potter. If you go look for Harry Potter grave, you won't going to find no Harry Potter grave, because Harry Potter don't exist. So all the prophets that he's telling you about, go and find anywhere on earth, archaeological, dig up anywhere. Find me one of them tomb, you know, when he was a living man with blood in him and him dead. And then bury him in this spot. Not one of them. Why? Because it's the man of belief. He's just making up a story. Because he doesn't know. The belief man does make up story after story after story and sell you a story. That's why in the end you'll find that some people don't believe in an own God. That they don't believe that any God exists. But they are right as well, because you shouldn't believe that God exists. You should know that God exists. And in a lot of the cases why people don't know is because of the falseness that the believer has been drumming into people from they was children. You see what I mean? That confused the issue. Because from I was a child, you had to go to Sunday school, you know. I mean, it's cutting out now, but they used to just drive religion in here, innit? You see what I mean? So you had to go and learn all these things.
Nursery rhymes.
Nursery rhymes and like some brethren say, you know. Yeah. And then this is where we say we get our early impression of what this God is, what God is supposed to be. You know what I mean? So, and you ain't going to figure this out where you yourself now get an understanding of who and what God is until you yourself, like I say, take the action. You see what I mean? Of correcting your wrongdoing that you have been doing. You see what I mean? So that you can get your mind fit. Because it's only when the mind is fit will you be able to comprehend what this one is. You see what I mean? Because you cannot comprehend what the one is until you have light. You see what? From within the dark you won't be able to see who the one is. You see what I mean? You have to receive the light first. But you won't be able to receive the light until you clean up the mind. Because the light will not enter into a dirty mind. Like we reason over and over. So no insight then into what the one is will take place until you take the appropriate action of cleansing the mind of its impurities. You know what I mean? And like I say before, you know what the impurities is within your own mind. You see what I mean? You don't need anyone to tell you. You see what I mean? You can do that yourself. You see what I mean? You know these things yourself, so you can clean out your... Well, not you can. You will have to do it yourself. You see what I mean? Otherwise, any being at all who has ever lived in creation, because it don't really matter, innit? What time you manifest on the planet Earth, yeah? Whether it was in this time 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, if the being live, yeah, and never clean out or never correct the wrong things that it was doing at any given time, that being would have lived and die with the eyes still closed, unable to comprehend who the one is that they call God. It would have believed in a God, but that God wouldn't have been real, or any God. You see what I mean? Because belief can never lead you to the true God. You see what I mean? One have to know. You understand? Samarius, one have to, we're going to, I'm calling my brethren round because I'm getting ready to wind down this reasoning that we're having in Firehouse. But before we wind down the reasoning, like I'm saying, we have to know. Believers can never ever know what we term God then. You see what I mean? One have to know. And when you know now, you will know that God is what man call conscience. I say, better to teach on the conscience. Conscience is God. It is the supreme intelligence within being. It's a part of all being, but it's not you, is it? You see what I mean? Because like I tell you, it's within the male and the female. Just like, you just have to imagine yourself, like I say, how we are in this universe, and the sun is above shining light on us, and the moon and thing, you know. Well, inside within your own being, that's the same thing that is going on. There's an independent sun within there. But now you are part of the mind, or you are in the mind. But you're not, I should just say we are in the feel of the mind then. The mind should be seen more like a stage that people appear on at any given time and act out their part and go. But the mind always remain. You know, like how the moon is, the positive and the negative is always here then, if you know what I mean. So we are passing through, just like how we are passing through earth, physically, spiritually we are passing through the land of the mind, which is not our home still. We're heading to Firehouse. You come from the sun, from the light. So we're supposed to be heading back to the light. You see what I mean? So we're passing through the mind. You see what I mean? Don't make the mind your home, if you know what I mean. Because unless you clean up the mind now, the mind will hold you. You see what I mean? And show you all kind of enticement and thing and you know. Divert you from what you are supposed to be really doing as a spirit, moving through the mind. Anyway, I hope those who hear the reasoning then get a better understanding, I say, of what we mean, what should be meant when we use the term God. You know, that in reality God is not, when we use that term, we ain't referring to a being anywhere, but rather energy that is within everyone. You see what I mean? And that everyone can become aware of. Not how you mean become aware of if something is in you. You know? How can something be in you and you don't know about it anyway? It's just totally ridiculous to me. From my point of view. So you're a being, yeah? And positive and negative is in you, but you don't know about it. Or you don't understand it. That's just crazy. And yet you know everything about motor car and this and that, and you don't know, you don't try and investigate nothing about yourself. Anyway, I would say I was rapping for a very long time on the subject of who God is. So right now, what we're going to do, we're going to reel out, fade out, and meet you on another reel again. Fire out from the Firehouse. Rastafari.